Oh, it's Jester back again with this really interesting book. I was at the thrift store, got a couple books for $2.25. One is this collaboration from Life magazine called The World We Live In from 1955. And the other is this bit of fantastic, based on a true story, soon to be a major motion picture, Carnosaur. I mean, I can't wait to dig into that. But first, let's go through this bit of bullshit. I recommend you get, whenever you find these, this is from 55. It's just super interesting because they didn't know the internet was going to exist. They didn't know that you'd be able to watch this all over. But it literally, I call it a complete collection of mind control. And instead of an introduction, it should literally say an indoctrination. And it starts with this bit of fantastic cartoonism. I mean, it is just silly. And I underline, as it's kind of explaining how the earth is born, I'm underlining everything every word that comes across as we don't know. And we're not really telling you the truth. We're just kind of making shit up. And there's a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. There's a lot of it, like tons of, I'll try to get this all flat so you can see just like, oh shit. You're not going to be able to see, but I'm going to read some of the words. To his eye, oh yeah, today it seems incredible he ever penetrated the disguises of the visible world at all. To his eye, the earth is flat, and the ground on which he walks seems stationary. How did he find himself clinging to the surface of the spinning about its axis at 1,000 miles an hour, whirling around the sun at 20 miles a second, riding through space on a rim of the Milky Way, 170 miles per second, slipping, sliding, wobbling, dipping among the stars, a half a dozen other intricate motions as well? How would he come to those conclusions? But that's for sure what's going on, just so you know. So ancient Egyptians envisioned an enormous room. Earth was its floor, sky was the ceiling. So when people say no one has ever thought the earth was flat, well, the ancient Egyptians seem to have, until our good friend Pythagoras, not a Mason, came to save the day by deduced it, that the earth was a sphere by deducing. And then Aristophanes, of course, didn't account for sun rays, of course, reflecting and bouncing magically. And he was able to find, computing the circumference without error of less than 150 miles. Amazing. One of the ironies of history. Just stupidities of men. We're dumb. Copernicus, Galileo, Newton, science, blah, blah, blah. You guys all know these wonderful stories. So as we get into kind of talking about Earth, our small solar system, how tiny and insignificant we are. We're an oddity. We're just a minor satellite on a second-rate star, just burning us down. What pieces of shit we are. How useless we are. And did you know 99% of all matter in the universe consists of the two lightest elements, hydrogen and helium? But I thought there was a helium shortage. Remember, they've told us that. I suggest Googling helium shortage, see what's up. Because it's apparently 99% of all matter is helium. So 50% of 99%? Okay, maths. Do the math. So, random universe existing without origin or destiny, meaningless, human, animal. Every mystery science has resolved. Oh, good. Short history, egocentric, fossil remains. Yeah, I just underlined. The sun reddens, the swell of boiling away, the solar fires, scorched planet, cold, lifeless around a dying sun. Just really sounds like some... Hey, is that what we look like? So as we get into what's in the crust of the earth, what's under us, right? That's what this is explaining. This is what's under us. So to explain, they have this awesome picture. It's going to let us know that the greatest depth in which man has ever penetrated the earth is 21,482 feet in an oil well in California, only a thousandth of the distance of the terrestrial center. For this reason, geophysics in all sciences, the least dogmatic and the most beset by conflicting interpretations, and fragmentary evidence at hand. That means this is bullshit. Below 30 miles, so then they just start making stuff up because they've only dug 21,000 feet at this point. Russia went 8 miles, shout out to Eminem, but at this point in 1955, that's as deep as we had gotten. So this is the picture that is most generally accepted. Concentric spheres, known mass, okay? Known mass of 66 million tons. That's the known mass, by the way. Just happens to be 66. No big deal. Investigations have shown, moreover, furthermore, probably considerations argue must be perhaps the size about the size, great ball, unknown, stupendous, strange, liquid, unlike liquid. Science suggests some, seems paradoxical, probably seems to be, some geophysicists describe, so terrestrial sphere suggests, belief by some mechanism, perhaps thought of, child of the sun. Fucking gets weirder. More to come of this fun time checking through this real book of real knowledge. Thoughtless Jester. Have a good evening. Subscribe, save, what's the other word? Solidarity. Yeah, you know, the words that make you subscribe. Getcha.